Hi guys. Today I want to talk you about something which at first may seem very simple, but in reality it's not so simple. I want to talk you about the classical RC filter. What is this? What is this? Why my pencil is so thin? Ah, is it that I hate this new paint. Sorry for this. So, RC filtering. Now, you do know that the RC filtering is something so simple like this. So, what's the problem? You have the R, you have the C, and the frequency is 1 over 2 pi RC. And that's it. You may think that it's that easy, but in reality it's not. So a real RC filter response will look more like this. And this range here, based on the at least 10 to the 7th, 10 to the 8th megahertz. Why? Well, the reason resides in the parasites of R and the parasite of C, mainly. So, here's the thing. The resistor R, in reality, is not a resistor. It's a resistor plus an inductance plus another capacitor, C. And this will have a Bode diagram like this. And the capacitor instead will look like more like a capacitor, an ESR, and a ESL. And C. And this will look more like this, where this point here is given by the resonance 1 over 2 pi radical square of LC. Now I took some slide from my course, and as you can see, I'm pretty positive of what I just said before. So this is the true resistor. As you can see here, we have the inductance of the lead of the resistor. So we assume that the resistor is a component, is an SMT component like this. Okay. And this case, for instance, 0402 will have an inductance and also a capacitance, of course, and a resistor. Now, when the frequency, how should you read this graph here? It's very simple. When the frequency F, so in the low frequency, F is low, this capacitor is basically non-existent because this C par is in the order of 10 femto, 100 femto, so it's very low, okay, almost negligible. And this parasitic inductance instead is in the order of 500 pico, something like this. The order is less than nano. And so basically what happens is that when you increase the frequency, you start to be in the capacitive inductive region. And so the first pole that you meet is given to the parallel capacitor, to the parasitic capacitor, that one here. And when you start to rise the frequency a lot, this resistor is gone, and basically it just becomes basically just a inductive region. And this point here is dictated like a capacitor, basically 1 over 2 pi RC. So resistive, capacitive, inductive. And the phase is minus 90 because here there is the pole, and plus 90 because of the zero, accordingly. And the capacitor has not a different fate because, as you can see, don't watch too much the equation because it's just a demonstration of the it's just a demonstration of how this Bode diagram is constructed. But anyway, when you look to the impedance of the capacitor, you have to make sure to use the capacitance in the capacitance region, because after that it becomes an inductive. This is very important in radio frequency application because the capacitor can become inductive and etc. So here's the thing. When you put the filter, you have to take in account for parasites. So now let's open our LTspice and let's put the different types of RC. So let's write AC1 and let's use I don't know, 10 nano, 10 ohm and 2.2. So this will be the most basic parasite, the most basic RC filter. So we will call ideal. Now we will make another model using all of the stuff above, using of course the uh, more or less value which makes sense. So you don't have to put 1 nano here because it doesn't make any sense. But 10 femto, 100 femto can make sense. And the inductance of the resistor, 100 femto, sorry, 100 pico. And the same also applies for the capacitor. So let's put the capacitor, let's put the series inductor 100 pico. Also for this guy here. Let's use a bit more space. And let's put also the ESR. Now, take care that the ESR is frequency dependent. Because the capacitor has at least other two factors that you have to take into account. First is the DC bias. The capacitor will start losing voltage will start losing capacitance according to the voltage applied. So if this is the C percentage, this is 100% of the value, like 2.2 nanofarad. It will be like that until, I don't know, 80%, 70% of the voltage. After that, it will go down a bit, 70%, 80%. So a real graph will look like this. You have 25 volts, 0402, 2.2 nanofarad. It will stay in this value until you have, I don't know, 10 volts, 15 volts. But if you fully charge this capacitor, it will go down even by 70% or 80%. So 2.2 less than the half here. So you have also to take care for this by choosing a higher case or better technology like C0G. This is the maximum, basically. This is the maximum. This is the dielectric technology. And the other factor that you have to take into account is the ESR. The ESR is not fixed, and basically, when you increase the frequency, the ESR will increase as much. It is like this in the low frequency range, medium frequency range, in 10 kilohertz until 1 megahertz range is more or less like this, and then it starts to spike after the 10 megahertz range. So if you want to analyze a full frequency response, you can't just put a constant value, but it's way more complex than that. So even though it's counterintuitive, for now let's put a way higher value than normal, like 30 milliohm. Because even though most 0402 capacitor have less ESR than this, complexity in a higher frequency range, they even have a higher value than that. So this is a simulated real RC. Now, if you go on SimSurf, like I already have, I selected a 2.2 nanofarad and 50 volts for this application. If you check the impedance, it's more or less like I told you before. So this is the impedance characteristics, and this is the ESL. Now, if you check the ESR characteristics, as I told you before, let's put them on the paint. It's exactly as I told you before. So the ESR, basically, you don't see it because it is from 1 megahertz, but it has a graph like this. And the the impedance characteristic versus frequency, it's like this. As you can see, even though the inductive region changes in higher, way higher frequency range, the ESR starts to spike even before. And as you can see, it can reach even values like 100 milli. You can import the Spice netlist like I did, and you can have the models. As you can see, they used way more complex model than I have, but let's do this. So let's put again the real resistor, and with the auto-generated GMC 108, where is this guy? Sorry, let me, this guy here. GMC 108, okay. And this is the real Murata capacitor that we have. And Murata simulation. So, we have our three models of RC. The first is the ideal. Sorry, this is 2.2 nano. I forgot the nano. And 2.2 nano. So, let's close this. We don't need it. Let's close also this. Let's save the file as true RC filtering. And let's run the simulation. In the AC analysis, decade, 100 points for decade, 1 and 1 gigahertz. 1 kilohertz and 1 gigahertz. Should be enough. Now, let's put the window like this. And this is the ideal. As you can see, this is the classical RC filtering that, like you could imagine. Now, let's put the real simulation. As you can see, the inductive region starts to take action, and we expect the Murata simulation like the real filtering should be. If we check the Murata simulation as well, don't care about the phase, honestly. Let's check the Murata simulation, and as you can see, the Murata simulation is very near that we simulated. So the only difference between this point here and this is probably the ESR. Let's check the ESR. Let's put it to 50 milli, and it should be fine. As you can see, it matches. So the inductance is around 50 pico. We can probably check this. We can probably check this in the auto-generated context in the script of this. So we can check the values somewhere. There is a value similar to this. Okay. Probably 10 to the 9. Yes, probably something like this. And if you change the value of the ESL, the parasitic inductance, this point will change. So let's put, for instance, 1 nano. The point will be translated left because it is higher, and so you have, as you can see, the point has translated left. So it's more realistic to put 100 pico here. This means that you can almost simulate real components with this model here. But the Murata simulation, since it has so many values, it accounts for the third model. It accounts for the third pole that I don't see here. So basically, the thing is, you can model as many parasitics as you want. Now we modeled something like this, but in reality, the Murata simulation can go even beyond something like this. But this is in the range of 100 gigahertz, 10 gigahertz, so it's basically useless in most of the case. You can see it just by prolonging the simulation a little bit to 100 gigahertz. I repeat, I don't see the point for what I do, but it should appear the other one. Okay, so as you can see, the the Murata simulation goes even beyond. This model goes even beyond here. simulating what could happen in the highest frequency range. Since I work in the power electronics field, I don't care, but this model is way more accurate. This component is way more accurate in the radio frequency domain. But anyway, so this is the real simulation, and this is the Murata simulation. I think that the for power electronics application, you can just use the second one. I think that guys, that's everything for today. And as you can see here, there is a true RC filter response that after a while, so you are in the range of 1 megahertz, the guy here starts to in the inductive region. In this simulation here, we have in the 100 megahertz, and he has it before, maybe because the value of the filter are different. But what is important is to understand the phenomena. Okay. So guys, thank you for your attention, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.